To begin measurement conversions. And I just want to introduce you to some things that you're going to need to know before I teach you how to make conversions using US customary length. So our goals for measurement conversions are that you can compare and convert measurements using US customary units, and you can use measurement conversions to solve multi-step real-world problems. Some words vocabulary words that are important to note as we talk about measurement conversions are the following. Measure, which means the dimensions, quantity, length, capacity, or weight of something. Dimensions are the lengths of sides of a geometric figure. Also, it's the number of coordinates needed to locate a point in space. Quantity, as we've talked about in the previous year, has to do with any kind of an amount, numerical amount. Length is the distance along a line or figure from one point to another. And remember, it's one dimension, goes in a straight line. Capacity is the maximum amount that can be contained by an object. It's the space inside an object or how much a container can hold, kind of like volume. That is capacity. Mass, or another word is weight. You'll start to see mass being used more often in math and especially in science. And that refers to weight, which is the amount of matter in an object or its heaviness. Here are some of the measurement units of the 4 major measurement conversions that we're going to be doing: length, capacity, mass, and time. So the US customary measurement units in length are inches, feet, yards, and miles. The measurement units of capacity, the US customary units, are fluid ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallons, and sometimes we'll talk about and you'll see teaspoons and tablespoons. The other US customary measurement units of mass are ounces, pounds, and tons. Now, the ounces of mass are different than the ounces in capacity. The ounces in capacity are referred to as fluid ounces, fluid meaning a liquid that they would hold. And finally, our US measurement conversions of units of time are seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years. Now, we know there are more measurements like decades and centuries and millenniums, but we're going to just stick to the seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years. Okay. Here are some examples of measurements and measurement conversions. Now, you will see on the Google Doc that I gave you a measurement resource tool that you will use to help you do all of the measurement work we're going to do over the next few weeks. And it's one of 3 tools that you'll be using when you're working on your measurement conversions. So it is something you don't want to lose, and perhaps if you have the ability, printing it out will really help you. So some examples of measurements, some of the conversions of customary units of length are: 1 inch is about the length of your first joint to your second joint on your pointer finger. 12 inches is the length of a ruler or a large foot on a human being. 1 yard is the size of a guitar, the length of a guitar, or a softball bat, or the height of a kindergartner, if you happen to have one of those in your home. 1 mile is how far you can walk in 20 minutes without stopping. 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. 3 feet is the same as 1 yard. 1,760 yards is equal to 1 mile. And 5,280 feet are in 1 mile. Customary units of capacity, some examples are: fluid ounces is 1 small medicine cup. Like if you ever had to drink a liquid medicine from the doctor or liquid Tylenol, you would have that little small medicine cup. That's 1 fluid ounce. 1 cup is equal to a small glass. A pint is a large glass of milk. A quart are 2 large glasses of milk. And a gallon is 1 large milk jug. 8 fluid ounces makes 1 cup. 2 cups makes 1 pint. 2 pints makes 1 quart. And 4 quarts makes 1 gallon. Some examples of customer units of weight or mass is an ounce is the weight of 1 slice of bread. 1 pound is about the weight of 1 man's shoe. And 1 ton is the weight of a small car. And the measurements we're really going to basically be using are these two. 16 ounces is 1 pound, and 2,000 pounds makes 1 ton. And then finally, we'll round out our measurement conversions with time. This will be a review, but we'll be looking at doing some more conversions, even double conversions, if you will. So time is seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years. 60 seconds is 1 minute. 60 minutes is 1 hour. 24 hours make 1 day. 7 days is a week. 4 weeks is a month. And 12 months is 1 year. Okay, you're going to see this chart on your measurement conversion document resources that I gave you, and it is a really great tool and it'll be very helpful for you when you're making your conversions. And I put these little icons here to help you kind of get an idea of making your conversions. So when we think of something large, we think of a sun, and something smaller than a sun is a star. And we know that the sun is greater than the star. If you're going from a larger unit, like a large sun, to a smaller unit, like a small star, you would do these conversions where you would multiply by a specific number. So when you go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you're going to multiply to make the change. So for instance, if we're going to go from feet to inches, which is large, feet is larger than inches. So if we go from feet to inches, we would be multiplying by 12. Yards are greater than inches, and if you go from yards to inches, you would multiply by 36. Same thing with capacity. If you're going from cups to fluid ounces, larger cups are larger than fluid ounces. If you go from cups to fluid ounces, you would multiply by 8. If you go from gallons, which are larger than quarts, you go from gallons to quarts, you multiply by 4. And so remember, this top section has to do with going from larger to smaller units. Now the bottom section is when you change from a smaller unit to a larger unit. So like you're going from a little star to a large sun. So if you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to divide. So smaller to larger means to divide. So for instance, if you're going from inches to feet, inches being smaller than feet, you would divide by 12. If you're going from yards to miles, yards are smaller than miles. So yards going to the larger miles would be divided by 1,760, because that's how many yards are in 1 mile. Or like if you're going from cups to pints, cups are smaller than pints, cups to pints you would divide by 2. Or like with time, you would go from days to weeks. Days are smaller unit than weeks, so you would divide by 7. Or with mass measures, like you're going from pounds to tons. Pounds are smaller than tons, but you're going convert pounds to tons, you would divide by 2,000. So that's how you use this tool resource that is in your Google Docs. Okay, so that should be enough for today.